was how they finished. In a 14-14 ball game, when things not going your way, all of a sudden you make an 80-yard drive on offense to go up 21-14. They come back, make it a field goal, and you got to end the game with 4 minutes plus. And as fine and executed 4-minute drive as I've seen, and really a special play by a special player, a veteran player, to understand the game situation in Juju Smith. To make that play, freshman throwing you the ball, great throw by the way, Sammy, great catch, and then to get that first down, understand where the game was, and to get down to in it, I thought was tremendous. I have to credit not only Juju for that play, but there was two other plays that stood out to me. This one right here is as special as I've ever seen. I don't know if I've ever seen a play like that before with the pick on the sideline. And Darius Rogers, and somebody needed to step up and make a play for us, and to go over top of the corner and make that play and take it away from them really energized our offense and maybe won the game, that one play. Injuries for us, Justin Davis suffered a high ankle sprain that pulled him from the game. We'll see how he is. And Jonathan Lockett had a shoulder sprain, the same shoulder that he had last week, so we'll see how that is. With that, I'll answer any questions that you have.
Coach, how inspirational was this win, coming from the win last week and building on the momentum? How is that building the team's progress?
Well, we were in a hole at 1-3, and last week we put the shovel down, and this week we started climbing out of the hole. And to get back to 3-3, to get our second Pac-12 win puts us, in position to continue for next week. Right now we're in a playoff mentality, and every week's like a championship game. And you got to treat it that way in the Pac-12. But yes, it was a very inspirational and needed win for our team.
What's the difference with the pressure you've been getting on the quarterback?
I think two things. I think our four-man rush technique and fundamentals have improved. We've made it a point of emphasis, and then scheme-wise, Clancy's calls right now are ultra aggressive. And I think he's doing a tremendous job dealing different style of pressures with different coverages that are backed up. Then all of a sudden dropping 8. He's really mixing it up extremely nice as a play caller. I think it's keeping play callers in check and also confusing young quarterbacks.
You're in a game where you could be up 28-0.
Yes.
It's like 14-7, and you're holding on. What are you thinking at that point in time?
My primary motion was just stay poised for the team. Don't get over emotional. You had a lead. It's 14-0. You're not playing well. Oh, it's 14-7. It's 14-all. If you get over emotional or you start panicking, your team's going to feel that, and you get there. It's a 0-0 ball game when it's 14-all. All we got to do is go down and drive, really have a ton of yards, just a bunch of turnovers, over 500 yards in this game against the 13th ranked defense in the country. All we were doing was hurting ourselves. Just don't hurt ourselves, guys. Let's go down, make one drive. And we did. And then we get it with 4 minutes and some change on the clock. Let's end this thing. And between the offensive line, the backs, a smart quarterback, and a wideout, really finished the game off. Very proud of them.
Sam, where were you trying to go with that ball to Darius, and what were your emotions in that play?
Yeah, I was trying to put it out in front of him because he had leverage, and it was something we work on in practice every day. We start with the long ball, and I just didn't put it enough in front of him. But I watched it happen, was thinking pick the whole way, and then he just came up with it, and it was a great play.
Clay, what was the role your tight ends played today, especially 3 touchdowns? It's been a while since they've had one in this position. Is that something you see maybe them having a bigger role going forward?
Yeah, I've said that a lot in both our training camps. One of the things I'll give credit to not only T but Tyson also. The package that they brought together from Western Kentucky. You saw where Higbee was so valuable. Now with the Rams, gets it to the tight end a lot. So scheme-wise, I think we're doing some better things to get them open. But then you got to have a quarterback that reads it out and does his job. And credit to the tight ends, they're getting open. The scheme was good, and the quarterback's stealing it to them. So it takes all three to get it done.
Was the Darius Rogers catch really could have changed everything?
Yeah.
Your vantage point, can you speak to what you saw and how that did change momentum?
I was with Sam. I thought it was a pick. And when he threw it, he gave him a chance, but kid was a good length at corner, and Darius is a strong hand kid and just went over top of him. And once he got it, it was like, okay, this is meant to be. And that's one of the things that we tell Sam and tell our quarterbacks is just give our kids a chance. If they touch it, they're going to catch it, and he did. He gave him a chance, and Darius made one of those special plays that you won't forget. That was.
On that interception, how aware were you of how close you were to the sideline?
I was very aware. When I was coming down, I was making sure I seen the receiver where he was, and then making sure I knew where I was at, close to the sideline. And once I jumped in the air, I was just trying to torque my body enough so I can get a foot down. I was just thinking like Charles Woodson, how he did it against Michigan State. And that's the whole mindset, make sure I got one foot in, and yeah.
Sam, what is your feeling about winning a game when you turn it over 4 times, and many of those turnovers were costly points?
Right, I hate using the word, but first word that comes to mind is kind of lucky, but it's not luck. You make your own luck. So defense did a great job today. Like Coach said, the game ball goes to them, but as an offense, you're not going to win a ton of games turning the ball over 4 times. So I think it's just something we got to keep working on in practice, and we will improve on it.
Dory, those times in the game when either you touch the ball or it's coming near you, can you feel the energy in the building rising up during those times?
Yeah, so my whole mentality is that if I touch the ball, I can just get a party started. I feel myself as a lighter fluid to the barbecue grill. I throw it in there and the fire gets started. So my whole mindset is just to make sure I do whatever I can to help the offense out and make sure the defense gets enough rest.
You spent so much time training to try to make the Olympic team. And I'm just curious, do you feel a little bit of that athleticism on that pick?
Yeah, because we work on bounding a lot in track to make sure you have a great control in yourself of the body. So it's the hitch technique. When you're in the air, you got to make sure that your arms and your legs are moving, and you have to be great aware. Make sure your core is tight. So I guess you could say that those training skills came into play today.
How much distance between your foot and the line on that when you came down? The effect?
It's probably like an inch. It was real close. When I looked at the screen, I was just happy that the crowd was happy. So, and it was going to be too close to overturn it, so I was just glad I got it in bounds.
Sam, you seem to show a lot of composure in crisis. What do you attribute that to? Because clearly, someone who's as young as you are, don't display those characteristics of a redshirt freshman.
Right. I like to credit my coaches, the coaches I had in high school, and even Pop Warner, but when it comes down to it, I think it's my family and how I was raised. My parents did a great job of keeping me confident and knowing that you just got to be cool with yourself, and no matter what anyone else thinks, you just have to control what you can control. And at the end of the day, you can't control the past. You can only control what happens in the future. So you just got to look ahead and take it play after play after that.
On the play where in the first half where it was a fumble and then you kind of ran back chasing him and still made the play, how do you determine whether to get rid of it or try and keep the play alive?
Right, it's got in that regard, I think I got to do a better job of knowing when a play is over and not trying to fight so hard for it, because a lot of times, as you guys saw today, it ends up in a fumble, ends up in me losing the ball, something like that. So I got to do a better job in that. So personally, looking back on it, I could have jumped on top of it and just been safe that way, but I picked it up. The guy was kind of grabbing my legs, and I got out of it, switched fields, and found Tyler, and he did a great job just staying and just believing in me and believing in my ability to get it to him.
Clay, you've talked about those plays and Sam's ability to kind of stay poised. How do you advise him, when to try to make those plays and when that might not be advised?
When you have a kid that has this amount of instinct and creatability, I don't think you handcuff him. Like I told him, drive it like you stole it. I think you play the game with no fear, and he does. There's going to be mistakes. That's going to happen with a redshirt freshman, and we'll live with it. But he's one of those guys that you don't make him a robot. You don't handcuff him. He does some things that people can't do, so let him do it.
Let's do one more. Clay, I apologize for asking you this about Sam, like Sam's not in the room.
Mm-hmm.
What type of improvements have you seen from the beginning of the season to where we are now?
He is... he's making good decisions with the exception of the one interception. That's his first interception on the year. In the passing game, I'm astounded just how he is, usually as an early quarterback, you get locked into different guys. He's distributing the ball to everybody, and he's truly going through progression. He's truly reading the entire field. Those are things that don't happen very early. You saw him re-slide protection today multiple times to see pressures and get himself picked up, understand he's not hot, get the ball out. I mean, those are things that usually happen later in life, and he's doing them now. So very proud of where he's at. He's not a finished product by no means, but he is. He's helping us win football games, and I'm proud of him. Thank you, guys.
Party started. I'm like, lighter fluid to the barbecue. Yes.